Alrighty, so today I wanted to talk about one of the few pet peeves I have about the game that I feel like a lot of other people share the same feelings about, and that is the free loadout epidemic. And what I mean by that is how incentivized it is to load in with the free loadout, because the free loadouts are not, they're too balanced. They're too balanced compared to loading in with loot, I think, in my opinion. What I mean by that is the weapons that you can get in a free loadout are about just as good, if not on the same playing field, or better than most of the other higher tier weapons. I think the Stitcher is one of the best weapons in the game right now. So if you load in with a free loadout and get a Stitcher, you can wreak a bunch of havoc on the lobby without feeling like you're gonna lose anything. And I feel like that's kind of stupid. One of the changes I think that could really benefit the free loadout situation is by just making the higher tier weapons better. Just flat out buffing the higher tier weapons. Because while I feel a little more scared bringing in better loot, if I brought in better loot that I knew for a fact was better than the other loot other people will be bringing, it kind of balances out that scared feeling, because I am more confident that my gun is going to outperform a guy that loads in with a free loadout's gun. And right now, I kind of have to treat everyone like the same, even if they just have free loadouts. And that wouldn't normally be a problem. It's just that, oh my god, this probe is so loud. It wouldn't be a problem to have to treat everyone on the same playing field necessarily, but I should feel rewarded killing players in this game. Because killing players in the game is harder than most other things, since you're fighting an actual person, right? Hold on, let me kill this. But when I kill someone with a free loadout, I get basically nothing in return for it. And I basically just wasted a bunch of my crap that I brought into the raid just to fight someone. And basically have a 50-50 chance of dying anyway to them, because their loot is pretty good, even though they have a free loadout. And they do not lose anything in the encounter, even if they die. But they gain a lot if they do kill me. And so I think if higher tier weapons were better, it would make it harder for players with a free loadout to kill people that come in with actual gear. Which I don't think is a bad thing either, because then it makes you feel even better when you do kill someone with gear if you go in with a free loadout. And I think that's honestly fair, and I think that benefits people more than anything. I think it's just a net positive to make higher tier weapons better, because you're not nerfing anything. Once you start nerfing crap, it starts to make the game stale anyway, and I think having like overpowered weapons is not necessarily a bad thing, especially with how hard the higher tier weapons are to find and make. Just to preface that, I have like 80 in-game hours, maybe 70, I don't remember exactly, and I still haven't found a single blueprint to a higher tier weapon. So I know right now I'm not gonna find one because I'm not in any of the correct I'm in a day raid, so I can't really get any of them anyway, but yeah, I've done a lot of the hidden bunker, never found the volcano, done a lot of night raids and haven't found a what is it called? The not patina, but the other assault rifle. I can't remember right now, but either way, it's hard to come by the higher tier weapons. It's harder to make them, and I think they should just be better, because I won't feel it won't feel as demoralizing bringing them into a raid knowing that I could just die to a guy with a free loadout, because I'll feel more confident that I have a better gun than them. And it also gives players who do like to do free loadouts better loot, because it will be more incentivizing for people to bring better loot in the first place. And I think all around it will be a net positive to see some weapons buffed. But that's one potential fix that I think could help with that. Another one, which I think is not as positive, it might actually be more detrimental to the game, but it'll at least fix the free loadout spammers, is just making it harder to load in with a free loadout. Instead of making it to where you load in with a free loadout when your stash is full, or I guess if your stash is full you can't load in with a free loadout, make it to where you can't load in with a free loadout when your stash is like halfway full. So just make it like harder to physically do it, and then you'll see less people doing it. Because there's nothing worse than wasting a bunch of ammo and heals fighting someone with a free loadout to just get nothing off of them because they also wasted all their crap fighting you as well. I don't know. But yeah, those are the two main things I think could fix it. Just making weapons better. Making it harder to load in with a free loadout to begin with. But I think free loadout, making weapons better, will also just improve other aspects of the game in general. Because like right now, I don't even feel a need to really load in with anything but a Stitcher 4. Because it's just so broken. Not really broken, but it's just really good. I don't even think the Venator is as good as the Stitcher 4, honestly. And the Stitcher 4 is an uncommon weapon. It's really easy to make, and I don't think that really makes any sense. Why it should feel like one of the better weapons to have, if not the best weapon to have. I hear someone next to me. I don't know if they're friendly. Can I jump onto this from here? But yeah, those are my two suggestions. I was hoping to find some better loot.
Hello, Raider.
Yo, what's up, man? But yeah. I don't know. Because you go in with a free loadout with 100% confidence, nothing to lose. And that's totally fine. I get that. I've done that plenty of times. And I also don't mind PvP, so. But you should be at the most disadvantage in the entire lobby as you can be with a free loadout, in my opinion. Aside from, like, your skill. Because obviously a better player is a better player at the end of the day, but physically and like loot-wise, you should be at the most disadvantage you can be with a free loadout. And like I said, but nerfing weapons is not going to solve that problem. It's just going to make people less incentivized to play in general, because nerfing weapons just never feels good. Just buff the better weapons. Well, buff the weapons that should be better, at least. Patina needs either a complete rework or just a buff overall. That gun is hot garbage. Especially now since it's rare to find the blueprint for it. Anyway. Like before, I could see why it would be a little bad. Because the patina was really easy to find, not too hard to make either, but it really is just hot garbage at the end of the day. It loses like 1 durability per shot, so it breaks most of the time you're in a raid. The weapon type, ammo type doesn't make any sense. You go through heavy ammo so fast with it, and it doesn't even put out that much more damage anyway. So you're just wasting ammo, when I could just use like an anvil. Anvil is like way better in terms of ammo and damage than the patina. I don't know. That's one of the major changes I think they need to make, those free loadouts. Because that also affects things like on Stella Mantis. Stella Mantis would be such a good map. Well, maybe not only if they fix free loadouts, but free loadouts do impact the map a lot, and I think it would be a way better map if people would load in with actual loadouts. Because right now, I'm trying not to die here. Anyway, so Stella Mantis would be even better if people were more incentivized to bring loadouts. And there's almost no reason on the planet to right now, which is kind of stupid. And there's a whole other list of things that could help with Stella Mantis too, other than just that. That could be a video on its own, but that's one of the things holding back the game being like super good in my opinion. Also, one thing that could be a potential problem when you do that, when you make free loadouts worse by making other weapons better, is that it makes it a little harder to get in the game as a new player. But one thing I've already thought about is just making a level-based matchmaking. Not necessarily gear-based. I don't think it has to be gear-based, because that would kind of defeat the purpose of like wanting to load in with a free loadout anyway, if you're gear-based, because then you're not going to get any loot-off players for killing them. Making it level-based though, because at that point, if you're loading in with similar leveled players, that means you're loading in with people that have had the same opportunity as you to get loot and to have loot, and gives you about the same amount of skill and experience in the game, both literally and just as a player playing the game. And so yeah, level-based matchmaking I think would be a fix to making the free loadouts worse, because then at least newer players loading into the game are not running into a bunch of people with like broken high-tier weapons. But at the same time, you give higher level players a chance of loading in with free loadouts, being at a disadvantage, but killing someone with better loot and still getting better loot. And I think that would make the best of both worlds for players that like doing free loadouts and players that like bringing in loot. I think it's just an overall net positive by making level-based matchmaking and making free loadouts worse, instead of trying to make everything really balanced. Which sounds weird, because normally you'd want everything in a game to be balanced, but in a game where looting and bringing in stuff before the game starts is an integral part of your game, I feel like there should be imbalances. Imbalances are gonna be what makes this game either really good or really bad. And I think more imbalance than there is right now is going to make the game better, in my opinion. Satisfying both audiences, both the players that like bringing in loot and also who like going in with nothing but being at a higher skill physically, like mechanically, and being able to loot that way. I think is the best of both worlds, but I don't really know where I want to loot.
Let's go to space travel.
Kind of just been rambling. I haven't really been thinking about what I want to do in the match. But those are changes that I think will heavily benefit the game for almost everyone. Because I think gear-based matchmaking is stupid. Even whether it is or is not a thing, I don't know if it is or not, but I think that is stupid anyway. Because that just makes the higher loot players stay higher loot and the lower loot players stay at a lower loot, I guess. Unless you're physically looting stuff. And some people just don't want to go around looting stuff. Some people don't enjoy that. That's why there's a whole group of people that enjoy going in and PvPing. And I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. If you enjoy doing that to get loot, you should be able to, without feeling like you're always stuck getting crappy loot because of gear-based matchmaking. Along with those other changes that I talked about, I think will heavily just benefit everyone and make the game enjoyable for anyone who likes to play however they like to play. Because I don't think there should be one way to play the game, especially a game that has this many moving parts with loot and loadouts and different things you can do. You should be making everyone who enjoys playing the game happy when possible. Which also just makes sense because then you just have a bigger player base. And if you keep more people happy, then more people will want to play. And obviously there's going to be certain things that are just not going to work out for some people. And that's also fine. But for the most part, I think you could make most people happy in the game. I think there might be a person in the hospital. Don't know if they can get to me in this room specifically that easily, but I heard them on the zip line in hospital. Haven't really gotten that good a loot so far in this raid. I was kind of hoping for some blueprints. Kind of debating whether doing night raids or day raids, because honestly I find about the same amount of blueprints in both night and day raids. And I just like being able to see a little bit better in night and day raids. But yeah, PvPs is great in the game. Don't have a problem with that at all. And I just think with some little balance changes. Yo, are you chill? I'm chill. I'm just looting, trying to find blueprints. What?
I don't have a gun, so.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's a window hop, right?
For
So,
what?
You see this zip line right here?
Yeah.
Like across from us? If you take that zip line, here, I can do it real quick. But you can back out on the roof right here above me, where the little plant is, and you can drop into here. Without
Oh,
opening that door.
that's
so
kinda
people don't know
nice.
you're in here.
yeah, that's
it
kind of
gives you
nice
moving
actually.
time.
Yeah,
Is your name
that's actually
Snake?
sick. Huh? No. Alymander.
Oh, you sound like a buddy. You
No.
sound like a buddy I play Ace Combat with.
No, that's kind of sick though. It's way easier to get in here.
Well, it's just nice because then the door doesn't open. So like, when you get
Oh
in,
yeah, I see you.
I booked it to a safe spot. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You can come over here. You can come over here. And
Oh,
I'll
that's
tell you,
actually sick.
super,
Yeah.
Super good XP.
Yeah, that's really nice actually. Yeah, because I heard the zip line and I thought you were in hospital. That's why I wasn't worried about coming in here. Because I know that the zip line's in hospital over there.
Well, you know I put on my own zip line, but you know the roof spot on hospital, right?
No, I don't. If it's like a good loot spot, I don't know about it.
Oh, you can't see my zip line from here. So, you know there's the one zip line that goes from the top up here at the corner down to the building?
Yeah.
If you bring your own and you shoot it to the top of the roof, there's like a little cubby in there you slide into, and there's secure whatever, and then gun cases and shit.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there's a bunch of little crap that you just find looting, especially in like the weird areas of the map no one goes to. Well, I guess that's a high loot spot, but yeah, honestly, I just think it's better to just, yeah. It's also just more efficient than bringing a bunch of crap and dying.
On these trash cans in here, if you see one with a lid like that, that means it's got loot in it.
Oh yeah.
Like this? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I knew that, but that's cool finding all these little spots on the map. Because I feel like there's not that many security breaches on this map, usually. There's like the one in the red tower, but I know there's like one red tower. There's one in... Is there one in Santa Maria?
There's
The
one
roof?
in Plaza Rosa that I go to all the time, and then there's one in like just to the right of abandoned camp, like right where Hometown Hatch is, that you can jump.
Oh, okay.
That one you literally just run and jump across the fucking walkway, and you get behind a breach door. It's a good breach door too.
That's sick. Well, I'll leave the rest of the loot in here. I don't really need anything particular. Oh, okay. That was a nice guy. It's always nice to run into friendly players. That's why I don't go out of my way to PvP in this game, unless like someone's actually trying to. Because I honestly kind of just respect everyone's playstyle, and I feel like even if I did kill that guy, I wouldn't have really gotten anything that worth it off of him, because he didn't even bring anything, right? That's why I only really PvP. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't even see you. Yeah, I'm chilling. There was another dude showing me a bunch of loot spots. That was kind of cool. Also, you can get into this. You can get into this area of the building from the roof apparently without breaching through the door. You can like drop down from the roof right here. I didn't even know that. But yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, just balancing, or I guess imbalancing the game a bit more would make it a little better in my opinion. That was a cool interaction. Interactions in this game are also sick. It's one of the things I really enjoy about it. I just think free loadouts should be worse. Or, actually, I take that back. I do not want free loadouts to necessarily be worse. I want the better guns, the higher tier guns, to be better. And I think that will make the game more enjoyable for both types of players.
Let's go to that metro.
Because you shouldn't make something not fun. Because if they just nerf the free loadouts a lot, a player that wants to use free loadouts is going to feel like they don't really want to play the game anymore, right? Yo, what's up, guys?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
No, I'm chilling.
Trying to do this fucking
Ninja Speranza.
Yeah.
watching the girls do.
I usually just do a Stitcher 4. It's pretty good. And it's pretty cheap.
You guys in? Alright, I'll start this
Yep.
fucker up, dude.
I guess that guy was a little scared, but that's all I really wanted to talk about. I would have looted more, but I was kind of running out of things to say, but let me know how you guys feel in the comments, and yeah, if you like the video, the best support you can give me is just watching it. I'm not going to ask for anything, but I'll catch you guys in the next one.